A teenager is dead after a shooting in Fraser. This happened in the 2500 block of Cassie around 1 o'clock this afternoon. Investigators tell us the 17-year-old man was shot by an unknown suspect. Police say the teenager was taken to the med where he died. Now, we haven't confirmed a motive, but people in that neighborhood have told us here at Fox 13 that this is a flare-up of gang violence. Recently, there's been a major collaborative effort to go after gang activity from the local government, the MPD, even local grassroots groups. But there's also been a lot of talk about the growth of gangs retaliation in the city. And why isn't it getting any better? What else needs to happen to put an end to this violence? Joining me now in studio is Anthony Hicks from Grassy. Anthony, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Tell me again what Grassy stands for.
Gang Reduction Assistance for Saving Society's Youth.
After today's events, are gangs being reduced here?
We have seen a lot of success with the Grassy program, especially with our partnerships with Memphis City Schools, the Mayor's Office, MPD, and the District Attorney's Office. We have come together, have a comprehensive approach, and we have seen a lot of reduction in gang activities in the schools.
So you're getting the kids to respond. Are you getting the support? Because so oftentimes it takes more than just, people like you, former gang members, now reformed, going into the communities and dealing and talking with these young people. Are you getting the support from the top down that you feel like you need?
I'm very confident in saying I'm really happy about the support we're getting from the administration. The Mayor's Office has been very supportive, along with the District Attorney's Office and Chief of Police.
When you go into these communities, Anthony, how well are you received? Again, before we started, you told me you had been a gang member for 7 years. You've since gone on to college, got a degree, and changed, really done a 180 with your life. How are you received, and what message do you try to send to these kids? Because I would imagine that when you're able to get one-on-one with a young man or a young woman, you have a lot of success. But in a broader view, there aren't enough Anthony Hicks out there.
Yeah, at no means is it not a challenge. It's very challenging when we go into these communities. It takes a long time to build trust in these communities with these young men and the people in the community. We have to just kind of show ourselves as a resource and let them know that we're here to be a resource to the community.
So oftentimes society thinks that the first answer is to either A, try to arrest your way out of this problem, or B, just let them fight it out and eliminate each other. There's not a lot of sympathy out there for gang violence.
There's not, and when you're on the, kind of on the outside looking in, I can see why there wouldn't be a lot of sympathy for that. But the Grassy program and our partners, we think is much more effective to try to get kids in college than prison.
Is that realistic? I mean, what's your success rate? How well are you received when you go into a young man's home, or even just in the neighborhood, wherever you might catch up to one?
And like I said before, it takes the time. You have to build that trust. That young man, that family has to know that you care. You're not going to accept us into their homes unless they know that we care. And that is the kind of foundation of our program, that we have some people in our program that really care about the community, really care about the young people that we serve, and we care about their families. And once we show them that we do care, we do get support from those communities.
All right, Anthony, let's get personal for a moment. Tell me your story. You said you were in for 7 years. How did you get into this? What sort of things did you do? How did you get out? That's the important question.
Yeah, I was in it for 7 years. At the age of 13, I joined the gang. As I say, the gangs are not what people say. They may look and see it as a character defect, or these young people are just out of control. But a lot of young people get into a gang because of a need. I myself, and like a lot of the young men, I didn't have a father in the home. And so I was having issues at school where I was getting bullied and beat up a lot. And a young man, an older guy, came to me, taught me how to defend myself, taught me to stand up for myself, gave me courage, and he just happened to be a gang member. And so from that point on, I joined the gang. If that man had been a police officer or maybe a pastor, maybe I joined the church or I joined a cadet program. He just happened to be a gang member. And so gang members are very, very keen in doing that, being able to point out the needs of young people and providing those needs and getting them, to get close to them. But my story, I was able to get away, kind of matured out of it. At the same time, I was getting support from police officers that kind of pushed me toward going to school.
So you listened to the men and women in blue?
Yeah, I did. I had one police officer in particular, Stacy Hollis, who And he kind of befriended me, and when he initially befriended me, I just thought, well, he's just trying to use me, get some information out of me to get me to snitch and tell on people. But it came out that he never asked me for anything. He was always there just to be a resource to me. And he was kind of one that encouraged me to go back to school to get my GED and go on to college. And when I got to the college campus, I was exposed to something new, and I never looked back.
Because, you know, Anthony, MPD Director Tony Armstrong, he grew up in this town. He knows so much about it, and he has been such a proponent of Grassie and organizations like that. So my final question to you is, can the MPD and the Shelby County Sheriff's Office and other law enforcement agencies here, should they reach out even more than they are right now?
Particularly Director Armstrong, I think he's doing a wonderful job. He has a program called COPS that's in the community, in these target areas where they have high gang incidents, and we work hand in hand with the COPS program. They're not, out there in the position to doing a lot of arresting. They're out there getting to know these young men, providing resources to these young men, just kind of being a partner with them as well.